Hi, welcome to Christmas Bible Story Time with Angela, Day 7. I am so excited to get back in the Word with you. I know we had a little bit of a break, 7 days. Now today is day 8. That is for a specific reason, and you'll find out as we read. So today we are reading 3 different passages because the passage in Luke actually has some history to it. And it's really important for us to understand why Joseph and Mary did what they did. So we're going to go back. We're going to start in Genesis, and we're going to read a little bit about Abraham and a covenant that the Lord made with Abraham. And his story happened about 2,000 years before Jesus was born. So the same distance of time or so before Jesus was born as we are now after he was born, if that helps you kind of map out a timeline in your mind. That's the Abraham story in Genesis. Then we're going to jump to a quick little thing with Moses, which is about 700 years after Abraham. And God is giving law to Moses to speak to the Israelites. Some of the things with Abraham have been fulfilled at that point, and many have not quite yet. And then finally, we'll be in Luke, and we'll hear why what we just read matters for Jesus's story when he's a little bitty baby. Okay, so I'm going to be reading out of the net. Feel free to grab the version of your choice, and don't forget about the points to ponder in the caption. Here's what we're going to be reading. Genesis 17, verses 1 through 14, and then Leviticus 12, verses 1 through 3, and then Luke 2, verse 21. Just one verse. Here we go. Genesis 17. When Abram was 99 years old, the Lord appeared to him and said, I am the sovereign God. Walk before me and be blameless. Then I will confirm my covenant between me and you, and I will give you a multitude of descendants. Abram bowed down with his face to the ground, and God said to him, As for me, this is my covenant with you. You will be the father of a multitude of nations. No longer will your name be Abram. Instead, your name will be Abraham, because I will make you the father of a multitude of nations. I will make you extremely fruitful. I will make nations of you, and kings will descend from you. I will confirm my covenant as a perpetual covenant between me and you. It will extend to your descendants after you throughout their generations. I will be your God and the God of your descendants after you. I will give the whole land of Canaan, the land where you are now residing, to you and your descendants after you as a permanent possession. I will be their God. Then God said to Abraham, As for you, you must keep the covenantal requirement I am imposing on you and your descendants after you throughout their generations. This is my requirement that you and your descendants after you must keep. Every male among you must be circumcised. You must circumcise the flesh of your foreskins. This will be a reminder of the covenant between me and you. Throughout your generations, every male among you who is 8 days old must be circumcised, whether born in your house or bought with money from any foreigner who is not one of your descendants. They must indeed be circumcised, whether born in your house or bought with money. The sign of my covenant will be visible in your flesh as a permanent reminder. Any uncircumcised male who has not been circumcised in the flesh of his foreskin will be cut off from his people. He has failed to carry out my requirement. Now, Leviticus 12. The Lord spoke to Moses. Tell the Israelites, when a woman produces offspring and bears a male child, she will be unclean 7 days, as she is unclean during the days of her menstruation. On the 8th day, the flesh of his foreskin must be circumcised. Luke 2:21. At the end of 8 days, when he was circumcised, he was named Jesus, the name given by the angel before he was conceived in the womb. The word of the Lord. Thanks be to God.